I think I found perfection. And no, I don't mean the Lowrider S or this lovely weather. I'm talking about this awesome dude, the DJI Action 5 Pro. Okay, so after that Oscar-worthy dramatic intro, what on earth am I going on about? Well, recently I've swapped over to the DJI Action 5 Pro from my Insta360 Ace Pro. These guys, they love using the Pro, don't they? And the reason being is, in essence, there was nothing really wrong with the Ace Pro. You know, its quality was really good, especially at night time. The issue I've always had, and where I've always tried to find perfection, is sound quality. I'm not talking about onboard sound quality. You know, from all these action cameras, you're never going to get perfection. And what I've always tried to do is work out some sort of external mic thing, you know, just to get that working. Now, I know some of you will say, and you've probably seen it with other YouTubers and bike riders and any other vlogger really, you take a camera, you stick an adapter, from that adapter goes a cable, from the cable goes to a receiver, and then there is some sort of wireless connection between the receiver and the transmitter, which is the mic in essence. That's all lovely, but it's the year 2025 of the Lord, and it still boggles me why on earth we're still using wires and adapters to connect to another adapter which goes into a receiver. So that's always ticked me off and ground my gears, just to find the perfect sound quality. So with the Ace Pro, you might have seen some of my footage from Senegalia. It worked great, but I was never happy with the sound quality. There were moments where it would overclip, or it would be too loud, and then you try and adjust it, and it was just a mess. Now the reason being is that Bluetooth connection between the mic I was using, which was actually a DJI Mic 2, and that interface is Bluetooth, and that Bluetooth microphone connection has never ever been high quality. Yes, it will do the job. So if you're just walking around and you want to do a vlog kind of thing and chat away, it works okay. The issue is when you're doing something like this, you're on a bike, there's, I mean, it's a Harley Davidson, it's going to be loud. When it's an environment where it's extremely loud, that Bluetooth technology just fails. But I think I found the answer here. So at this moment in time, I've obviously got the DJI Action 5 Pro, and the wireless mic I'm using is the DJI Mic Mini, and that is nestled up inside the helmet. Let me just take care of this band. The Mic Mini is right inside here. I'll show you later. Why do I think it's perfection? Now, I'm using that word loosely, and I should do a disclaimer symbol. It's a bit like Apple when they're selling their new iPhones. Oh, this year's iPhone release is the fastest and bestest one we've ever had. Well, yes, you're going to say that because you're bringing out a new product, and you're not going to do something slower or, you know, less specced out than the previous flagship model. So that's not going to happen. And again, that's why I'm using the word perfection. Until the Action 6 Pro comes out, or the 7, you know, that's that never-ending race of trying to get the best technology. But for the moment being, so start of 2025, I think this is perfection. Why? Well, it's the image quality I really like. Oh, I'm going to come on to the sound part. I'll come on to that. That's I think that's the important bit. I'm going to come on to that at the end-ish. So for me, quality of image, that's number one, because there's no point taking these lovely videos and whatever on your bike or you're vlogging and it's potato quality from some Nokia back in the mid-90s, that's just not going to really work nowadays. And where does it get all that quality from? So these guys are using 1/1.3 inch sensors, and that was the same as the Ace Pro. At this moment in time, the GoPro 13 Black, I think it's using something smaller in terms of image sensor. So it's biggish, and we're nearly at that line in technology where we're going to get 1 inch sensors on cameras. Why is that important? It's just the amount of area a sensor has and how much quality and dynamic range and this, that and the other it can grasp. So, you know, in a way, bigger is sort of better quality-ish. That's how I see it in my simpleton terms. Those who are more educated in it, they'll probably do a better justification of it, but that's how I see it. DSLRs, they're using 1 inch sensors, and they've got superior quality when you're taking pictures. Oh, talking about pictures, you can actually take pictures with this, and it's 40 giga pixels. Would you really want to take a picture? Well, you can if you want to, and it's 40 megapixels. So if you do try and even crop a picture, it'll do a decent job. What else is there? Oh, so I'm going to come onto the settings in a separate way, not whilst I'm on riding, because it'd be kind of difficult to show you settings while I'm riding. There are stunt bike dudes who'll probably do that and capable of doing that. I shan't risk my life or my license to do something sketchy like that, so I'm going to come on to that later. But one thing DJI have done really well is to use 10-bit color and dynamic range. So at this moment I'm recording on D-Log 10-bit. Why? It's just so I can capture as much dynamic range around me for those lowlights and highlights and whatever, and sort of post-production editing in a way I can mess around with the colors. But within the settings part of this video, I'll try and explain a bit more of that better. So we've dealt with color and image and everything else. Not that I'll probably use the camera for that, and with the bike, this thing's got a pressure gauge. I think so. When you do go diving with it, which is about 20 meters or so underwater, it tells you what your depth is, and I think it tells you altitude as well. I haven't tried that yet. That's kind of interesting. I should look into that. Guys, as I said, I've literally got this like a week ago. I've done a couple of runs with it. It seems to be working great. So all the features, I've not had a chance to use all of it yet. There's so much. What else is there? One thing I've really liked on this compared to the Ace Pro is the form factor. You know, action cameras, they're not huge bulky things like a DS. Wow, they shut that road. Oh, okay. Action cameras, they're not big massive things like DSLRs. They're always been sort of smallish, and you know, you can put it in your palm in a way. This is really small. What was funny was when I went to my local electronics store to buy this, I asked the salesperson, look, I want so and so, can I have one please? She brought me the box out. I sort of looked at her and said, no, I want the DJI 5 Action Pro, you know, like the standard edition kind of thing. She's like, yeah, that is it. But I'm like, why is it so small? She's like, well, that's it, that is the box. I was a bit shocked how small the packaging is. And in a way I was like, well, hold on a minute, that's not some sketchy display box, is it? She was like, no, that is the box, and it was all wrapped up in everything. I was a bit, I was expecting something bigger, but form factor, it's really small and compact, and I love that. So when it comes to putting it on your helmet, it's going to be smaller than the Ace Pro. And I've sort of looked at the dimensions. It's definitely smaller, but you know, we're talking point something of a millimeter smaller. It's definitely lighter than the Ace Pro. I think it's about 30 grams lighter. So that's one factor. If you're putting it on your head, on your helmet, or you know, you're carrying it around in a weird, wonderful way. Hey, biker dude, where you go to? Hello, sir. Good morning. What else is there? Oh, one thing I've tested it to a certain amount, and that's the battery life. This thing's a monster, man. I mean, DJI reckon 4 hours. I don't know how they're getting the 4 hours, but let me tell you guys what I sort of got in real life terms. So I've recording on 4K, 16 by 9 or wherever it is, 24 frames per second, and I went for a ride for about an hour and I just hit 60%. That's pretty decent, because I remember I had a GoPro years back. Man, what was that? Some, like, what was it, 11 or? I don't know, I can't remember, years back. And I remember going for a ride, putting it on, and 25 minutes later the battery had died. And I actually thought it was faulty, so I didn't have a spare one with me, but what I did have was like a cable just to charge it on the bike. So I charged it away, and yeah, it wasn't faulty. It actually ran out of battery, like 25 minutes, half an hour. That's a joke. So with this, I've actually ridden for like an hour and there's still loads of space left on the battery. So that's one really good thing. Obviously, if you take more battery packs with you on your biking adventures, vlogging adventures, or whatever it is, you're going to have plenty. And your challenge will be memory space. But again, DJI has you covered, because guess what they've done? They've stuck internal memory onto this thing. I'm going to show you a bit more of that with the settings, but this comes out of the packet with internal memory. It's about 47 gigabits, but I'll show you once in that settings section. So it's in there, so you don't have to put a sort of removable memory card and film away. It's already in there, guys. That's pretty cool. I like that, because one thing that does is, if you are sort of recording away and you run out of space on your card, you've got a backup, in essence. What else is there? One thing I'm also liking is this thing's got dual screens on either side. There's a screen on the front, screen on the back. Obviously the one on the back is slightly larger, and it's OLED, so the image quality just comes out those small little screens is awesome. It's really clear. I've used it under sort of really harsh daylight like today, and you can see everything. It's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so let's come on to sound quality, because I think that's its superpower in a way at this moment in time in 2025. So when you're using DJI's own wireless mics, whether that's the Mic 2, the Mic Mini, DJI have got some weird magical connection between the camera and the mic itself, because it's, now I've used, as I mentioned earlier, I've used the Mic 2 on the Ace Pro, and yes, you've got a decent-ish sound quality, but anything crazy that goes around you noise-wise, it just starts clipping away and it just doesn't work. With this, it just sounds awesome. I mean, I don't know, guys, I mean, this is what I'm using now. Let me know what you think. I've liked it. Nothing's really clipped, and within the settings section, I'll also show you where you can do low clipping, high clipping, and this, that, and the other. So it gives you a nice balanced soundtrack, as it were. So DJI have got some sort of magical thing going on between their wireless mics and the action cameras. The sound quality is way better if you try and connect those DJI wireless mics onto other cameras using just Bluetooth, and I think that is it. That's where they've got that upper hand, as it were, you know, and I really like that. Now DJI, man, I hope if you guys are listening, can we have a 360 camera? Because that 360 camera by DJI would be amazing, because you could basically, if you're going on a bike ride and you want to do a vlog like this, you won't need anything else. You could just use that 360 camera, wireless mic, and have superior sound quality, and see everything around you, and you can sort of edit it and show the camera where you want to go. I really like that idea. If they ever make one, I think there was rumours they are going to do something like that, and I think there's patents and communication licenses and this, that, and the other that were sort of applied for by DJI. But let's see, there's nothing really out. It's March 2025 and there's nothing out so far. So that would be superior. If you guys have watched my vlog 1, now I recorded that with the X4 using the DJI Mic Mini wireless microphone, again set up in here. But what I did was I used the receiver connected onto the camera with an adapter, with a wire, and even then it sounded okay, but I still wasn't 100%. And I don't think I'd ever use that setup for a vlog again. I just wasn't 100% with it. The sound quality, there's certain where it'll just clip, and yeah, I wasn't 100% with it. And that's why I traded in my Ace Pro and went with the DJI for just doing vlogs. I am waiting for a mount to go on my helmet, because the Shoei Neotech 3, you can't just, I just don't want to stick it anywhere. There is a company out there, I forgot their name actually, Canadian dudes, God, what's their name? I'll put it up on the screen. Yes, I'm just waiting for that to come through the post, and then I can put one on here and we can do the usual vlogging and riding and adventures. But let me know what you think, guys, of the quality so far. I will also do an onboard sound test, just so you know what it sounds like vlogging, and also on the bike without any external mics. Another party trick the DJI has is you can have 2 separate mics connected onto the DJI Action, and I've actually got 2 of those Mic Minis. So there's one in the helmet, and what I'm going to do is put the other one inside my Fresh and Supply handlebar bag. I might wrap it up, there's a cloth in there for my helmet, I might wrap it up with that cloth just to absorb a bit more of the harsh noises around it, just to get you a decent quality. And we'll see how that turns out. I haven't done that test yet, so we'll be doing it together. Let's see how that works out. Okay, so what do we get in the DJI's box? Well, obviously you get the camera, because if you didn't, then you're getting scammed. There is a charging cable, a sticky mount which you could stick on stuff. There is a protective case that goes around it, and you can also do the sort of vertical recordings with it. You've got that magnetic, clippy, grippy thing that goes underneath. I'll show you that within the settings bit as well. That magnet on there is so strong, you think like, oh man, you don't need those grips. It's that strong when it sort of initially connects together. That's pretty cool. But obviously, yeah, it's not just magnets, it's also the grips. Oh, the sound on this. Still get a buzz from that exhaust.
Okay, just a quick stop to show you the Mic Mini, where I've got it located on my helmet, and also I'll do some other tests with the mic here. So that's the Mic Mini. Do you know what? It's so small. My fingers are covering up. There you go. It's a better look at it. It's minute. If I had a banana, I'll use that as a reference, but I haven't got a banana on me. But yeah, it's minute. One thing I'll do right now is just do onboard sound. So this is what it sounds like without the wireless. Back again, this is straight from the DJI onboard mics. Let me know what you think. It is a bit blustery up here, so I'll just move around a bit. There's the awesome bike. What do you guys think? I'll also take it for a ride without the wireless mic, and see what you guys think. But this is the DJI with onboard sound. La 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 la. Does it sound nice? Let me know. So with that metal magnetic clip, what I've done is, well, I don't use it. I always use this sort of clip at the back to put onto my jacket, shirt, whatever. What I've done is I've took that metal clip and I've put it right inside here. You can just see it with double-sided tape, and it's super strong and it's never come out, and I'll show you guys. You probably just heard it. It just clips in and it's on there. You can pull it out, charge it, do as you wish. As I mentioned earlier, you also get this protective case that comes with the DJI, and if you look on the bottom here, that's for vertical recordings if you want to do that. So that way around, and then you've got that clip, and I'll show you how that connects with the magnetic clip that comes with the DJI as well. So let me show you guys that vertical recording. So you've got the magnetic clip that comes with the DJI, and you can see if you just press those, that releases. That's the cage, and if you just put it on there, that's it, it's on. Obviously you put the camera inside, but I'm recording with it, so yeah, you know what I mean. Well, that's what it looks like. Okay, so this is coming straight from onboard sound. Let's go for a ride. Okay, so let's try 2 mics and see how that works out. So I've got one here in the helmet, and I've got one in my Fresh and Supply handlebar bag. Let's go. Sound from my mic, and also it's coming from the other mic which is outside. What do you guys think of the quality? But that's 2 DJI Mic Minis working together, all connected at the same time to the DJI Action 5 Pro. It'd be interesting actually, if this works out, I don't mind having 2 microphones connected together, because then you've got the sound of the bike, and then you've got me chit-chatting away. Let's crack on with the settings I use on the DJI. I've got 2 main settings, one of which is this cool motorcycle symbol you can have there, and well, it is what it is. I use that while I'm riding. This is a screen when you sort of turn it on. It's relatively easy to understand. You've got battery at the top corner, you've got your colouring on the side, digital zoom, frame rates and resolution at the bottom. That's your sort of setting to show you which one you've set, really. Then you have your play button to play any recordings you've done on the camera, and at the top here is how many hours I've got left recording with the memory card inside. I don't know how on earth I've got 11 hours. So in terms of my resolution and frames per second, this is what I'm using, which is 4K with 24 frames per second. I do this just for the cinematic effect. There is actually quite a wide selection you can have, the usual 30, 50, 60. If you want to do the slow-mo stuff, it's 120. So with this resolution of 4K 16:9, that's the max frames per second you can do. If you want to do a bit more post-editing,
with your resolution, I do recommend the 4K 4:3. The reason being, that's like a square format, and you can take that and sort of post edit and do vertical recordings or horizontal, because it's a square resolution. So that's more for post editing if you want to mess around like that. If you want super slow-mo stuff, it's going to have to be 1080p, and we have 240 frames per second. But for me and what I do, I'm quite happy with 4K 16:9, 24 frames per second. Some more important stuff right in the corner. If we click on this, we have stability. I just keep it on rock steady. There's actually a good reason why I keep it on rock steady, because if you switch over, did you guys see? It crops with rock steady plus. There you go. If you just watch in the corner, you can see how much it crops. I think rock steady is more than enough. There's also horizontal balancing, and that sort of keeps it horizontal, maximum 45 degrees. But I rarely use that unless I'm doing some sort of scenery, walking, recording kind of thing. But yeah, it's no use to me at this moment in time. So rock steady, ultra wide. This is about, with ultra wide, you've got 155 degrees of field of view, which it's really, I mean, that's really useful when we're doing the bike recordings, because you can see more of your surroundings. So I always keep it on that. Let's come back out of that. What else do we have? Next important thing is coloring, and that's on the side here. If we give that a little click, you can actually, you need to, so you must set the pros button here if you want to delve into the extra settings. So my coloring, I go with D-Log M 10-bit. Now with D-Log, it's usually this grey dull matte colour. I'm hoping the cameras here can pick it up. If you can see, D-Log is that really matte colouring. But what the DJI does, and I love this, it does the colour recovery. So when you are recording, the display itself will show you what the colours will be in a way, just to give you an understanding of the colouring. But obviously, when it comes out of the memory card, in a way, it's that dull grey colour. So don't presume if you're doing D-Log M and you've got the colour recovery on, it doesn't mean it will be coloured. That's post-editing. I'll come on to that as well. So I always do D-Log M, and main reason for that is just the dynamic range. You capture so much more with that 10-bit. It'd be kind of silly not to take advantage of the technology this awesome thing has. So I do recommend it. D-Log M, if you're sort of worried about editing and doing the post color things, but DJI have something really cool on their app, and it's literally one button click and it will give you their sort of representation of coloring, and I'm kind of happy with that. If that's too much, you can. HLG is for the super dudes who like to color post edit. It's beyond me. That's beyond me. Normal 10-bit. Again, that will give you all the dynamic range in a way, and the coloring is all done, so you can do as you wish with it once it's on the memory card and you've saved it and you want to post it somewhere. There's also just normal, just 8-bit recording you can do. So, but for me, that's what I'm using, D-Log M 10-bit, and I'll show you in the app, once you've done a recording, how to convert that. It's relatively easy. But again, for anyone who's knowledgeable and knows how to do the color correction, again, you can take that format and play around with it, post-editing. Exposures, I usually have it just a slightly bit darker, negative 0.3. My ISO, I keep it in the 100 to 800 range, just to stop any kind of sort of noise. if we're going anywhere really dark, I'd rather just keep that to minimum. Let's confirm that. What else do we have? The tones and stuff you can't change because you're in D-Log. And that's about it for here. Now, if you guys remember, I mentioned I've got two settings I use. So there's the bike setting and my vlog setting. So what you can do is press the quick start, and there you go, there's vlog, and that changes over the settings. So I've got Rocksteady. What do I use for vlogging? If we click on the side here, so if I'm vlogging and I'm facing towards the camera, I don't want it to warp everything around me, so I just keep that on standard. Again, stabilization, that's on Rocksteady. And let me show you how to make that into one of those pre-settings. So let's say, press the resolution. I want to do that square resolution because I want to post edit, let's say. So we've selected that, argument's sake, let's do 30 frames per second. If you then swipe down, there's some dude you can click on, and you can just add it. So save current settings, click on there, and that will save those settings you had. And you can choose various other ones. So skiing, diving, some dude who's surfing, some dude with a bed sheet. There's a driving one, bicycles, motorcycles, walking. If you want to be a bass or pike or a fish or something like that, running, vlogging, and you can choose whichever one you want. And let's say I want to use that for parachuting with a bed sheet. You just click confirm, and it's there. Look, there's that dude with a bed sheet. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. So, and if you want to switch between them, it's the side button. You can scroll whichever one you want to do and click it. We'll keep on the white bike because we like to bike around. Let's also talk about the star of the show, and that's the DJI Mic Mini and how these two work together. So as you can see, you've got your green sort of decibel bar. Now I know that's working away, but guys, it's pretty much instant. So look, I'm just holding the power button. I'm gonna switch it off, and it tells you it's disconnected. So if I click on the power button, this is how fast it is. There you go. And we're connected. But I want to show you guys some of the settings you can do with the mic. So if we go to the color setting here in the Pro version, right there in the top, you've got, it actually shows you like a DJI mic logo, whoa, autofocus. So it's set on stereo, you can do mono. This is really important if you're on the bike and you're in a light environment. It's best to do the gain as a minus. This makes a huge difference. So I've got it on -12. If you had another mic, that would come up here. And you can also do noise reduction, high, off, low. I'll keep it on low just to keep the noise clear. That's now another useful thing. So if you are using both of these, make sure that's at -12. But play around with it. I found -12 is more than enough, because don't forget, post-production, you can increase the volume levels. But if this was high and you were recording away and it was super high and it's just distorting and clipping, it's really hard to recover that. Besides that, there are additional settings you can have with these two. Let's swipe down from the top. We'll go into settings, and right here you've got wireless mic. Again, you can see it's doing its thing. If I tap away, decibels reading away. Monitor volume, yeah, but I don't know what that is. Someone can tell me in the comments. LED, that's the LED on the light, on the mic itself. You've got low cut turned on, auto power off, and clipping control, and there's also your versions when you're updating. Two other settings I want to show you that I have turned on or turned off. If we click on the color and we go to the bottom, we have texture on the left and noise reduction on the right. Both of them are a -2, so it relatively turns them off. Just so I want to keep the pictures natural looking as much as I can. Otherwise, these will add that
horrible artificial looking sharpening which just doesn't look right. One other thing to show you, and I think this is a really awesome feature on the DJI Action 5 Pro, the internal storage and how we access that. So we swipe down, go to the right, and there you go. You can see we've got internal 47.8 gigabits, and the memory card I have is 476, which I think is the 5112, whatever it is. And you can just switch between them. There you go. And actually, how much does that give us? So the settings I have at the moment, 4K, 24 frames per second, will give me at least an hour. I mean, that is brilliant. So imagine, guys, you know, you're riding around and you run out of space on your sort of removable memory card, as it were. You've got at least an hour. That's really cool, man. I like that. Yeah. And then you can just switch back. And if you want to format or mess around with it, you can do the formatting here in this section. Now, unlike other action cameras, this thing turns on super instant and fast. Guys, watch this. So at the moment, it's completely off. It's not turned at all. And I've smeared the screen now. Oh, what a shame. Guys, watch this. All I'm going to do is press record and see how quick it starts. That was it, and it's recording. Right, just to prove that again, let it do whatever it's doing. So that is off. It's not working. You can see it's not on, and I'm just going to press record. That is instant. No arguing about it. One other thing that really shocked me was how powerful this grip thing is. So yes, there's a magnet, but some people thought it's actually just a magnet holding in place. No, it's not. There's actually two clips. But so what you do is you've got these two sort of, well, they are clips, aren't they? So if you just press on the clips, but there is a magnet. That's how strong it is. Look, can you, I don't know, it's really hard to show this on camera, but that really draws in together. There's a really powerful magnet. I feel like that magnet can probably hold it on its own there. And that is it. That's solid. That is not going anywhere. I'm really tugging at that. Yeah, fantastic. It just feels so solid. Awesome.
And I think that wraps up everything. Let me know your thoughts. Did you guys enjoy the sound quality, the picture quality? Do leave a comment, like, subscribe. Hopefully I can bring you more reviews and just discussions like this on our gear and vlogging. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to go and get a nice coffee. Don't know, but I need caffeine. Yes, I need some coffee. I've got the cooking monster. I'm the caffeine monster, I think. And last time I had coffee was about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago. So I need another shot of caffeine, please. Woo, let's go. If I came across the genie and he granted me 3 wishes, it would be days like this. That's all we need. And a nice bike. And somewhere nice to eat. Yeah, 3 wishes. Nice weather, nice bike, and somewhere nice to eat. The rest, don't need it. I'm a little teapot, short and sprout. Here's my handle. Ooh.